My name is Della Wells, and I'm a storyteller and I'm an artist.
Della Wells is an African-American folk artist born in 1951. She is a self-taught artist that began drawing and painting seriously at the age of 42. She has been a prolific artist, meaning she has created more than 2,000 pieces of art since she began.
I actually wanted to be a writer, and I was always fascinated with stories. Visually, I think you can tell stories visually too. I think how we dress, we tell a story. How we decorate our house, we tell a story. How we sit down, we tell a story. So we don't necessarily tell stories with just words. The music, we listen to, the music we sing, our culture, we tell stories. So we tell stories in many ways.
Ms. Wells has seen her work exhibited throughout the United States. She has taught art to children, recovering women, and mentally challenged adults. She uses her artwork as an extension of her long commitment to storytelling and folklore. Wells's imaginative and colorful collages, pastels, drawings, dolls, and quilts bespeak the nature of the struggle of seeking self-actualization and community as both a woman and an African American. As a child, Wells created characters and stories as a means to entertain herself. Wells's mother embellished these tales with her own childhood experiences growing up in North Carolina during the Roaring Twenties and the Great Depression. Her folk tales reflect both of these experiences, and through them she defines her family history and her own identity. One of the challenges Ms. Wells sets for herself with each artwork is that she can only use materials she currently has in her home. So we're going to challenge ourselves today to do the same for our mixed medium art project. For supplies, you will need blank paper, glue, collage materials such as old magazines, newspapers, cloth, plus additional decorations like old buttons, threads, can tabs, anything you would like to use to add detail to your artwork that you can only find at home. You can also download some templates from my Google Classroom if you would like to help. As an example, I'm going to create my work as my own story. So I have my blank piece of paper and I'm going to make some sort of plan. So for example, you could have your person either standing up or in a balloon or flying. I'm going to have, I think, my person kind of flying over my house. So here's my plan that I'm setting up. I'm also thinking I want to add a rainbow in the background. So I'm going to kind of draw out where my rainbow might go. I might stick behind my house. Obviously, I'll have something down on the ground. And so I'm going to have some sort of sun. Oh my goodness, you know I love the swirly whirlies. Once you have a basic plan, it's time to collect small colored scraps from magazines, painted paper or fabric, and the colors you need for your background. You could choose blues for a sky background or yellows and oranges for a sunset. I did some blues for my background, and then I also have my rainbow colors. I organized them into color categories just to help me figure out what I needed. Next, we'll be gluing them down onto the background. Now, while I was perusing all of my magazines and junk mail, some images jumped out at me that kind of tell about who I am. For instance, down below, I have these funny flowers that are from the Queen Elizabeth's hats. I happen to love to collect crazy hats. And so then I had this connection, oh, maybe for my face, I will print out a picture of myself wearing one of my crazy hats. I also cut out some house textures. I found this fun dandelion as maybe a tree background. So I'm going to start with laying down my background, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit more. Okay, so now I have my background done. I'm going to put this off to the side for just a minute, and I'm going to work on me. So I have my template that I downloaded from Google Classroom. And as I mentioned, I have this funny picture of me with my silly hat. So I'm going to start with that. Put that onto my body. Pink is one of my very favorite colors. And from the front of People magazine, the Queen's hat had all of this beautiful pink. So it inspired me to do my body. My dress is pink. And then I also found these really funny boots. And so I'm going to use those for my legs. So I'll probably cut off the template legs and put these on. All right, so now for our last finishing pieces on our artwork, I'm going to add some fun little details in here. I have pictures of my boys. Since I'm telling my story, this is what I would add, but if you're telling your story, obviously you would add different things. Can't forget my fun flowers here for the queens, for the hats. They look like some pretty shrubs too. I think I'm going to add a button here on my dress, just a fun extra detail, like so, like so. And then I have one last fun fact. So in the spirit of Della Wells, she always puts a chicken in her collages to represent prevailing over adversity. She tells a story about her dad bringing home a live chicken. She thought it was a pet and was overjoyed, but then she learned that the chicken was going to be their dinner. And she was so devastated. So to help her deal with her sad feelings, she puts a chicken in all of her collages. So I'm going to put a chicken in my collage, and you could do the same thing if you would like. That. Last thing, I'm just going to trim off my edges to make it nice and neat, and I'll assign my name to it. And I cannot wait to see what you all come up with.